I call this thing Shin Ramen, but my Korean friends always tell me it's actually called Shin Ramyeon.
A lot of water has flowed in the Mississippi River since I last posted the video, but I had no choice but to come back. So let's dive right into the spice world of Shin Ramen with Future Canoe.
And today I found out that its official name on the bag is Shin Noodle Soup.
Who's stupid now, huh? And look what I got. It says Shin Ramen Noodle.
I scoured across international social media and found 5 of the most creative ways to cook this college nostalgia. Let's get started. Our first recipe is chili oil noodles. It was first started on Korean social media and then popularized by English-speaking creators like Lisa Nguyen and Doobie-Doobop. Basically, you want to pour in half of the seasoning packet.
All, by the way, great YouTubers. Oh, was it half a packet only? Alright, so I just put everything in. Oh well.
Along with 2 teaspoons of soy sauce and 1 teaspoon of Chinese black vinegar.
2 teaspoons of soy sauce and Chinese black vinegar.
Grate about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. If you get injured by a microplane like this, it takes about 2 weeks to completely heal. Don't ask me how I found out.
Carefully grating the garlic.
Once we have all the ingredients ready, we'll move on to the stove.
Or in this case, the stove moves on to me.
I always put my instant noodles directly into cold water like this because I feel like it hydrates faster. Plus, I don't think putting it in after the water boils makes it any healthier.
My water is dripping hot.
While the noodles are cooking, we'll heat up about 2 tablespoons of oil.
Noodles off the stove and now some oil in the pan.
Any type of oil should work except for
Jamie olive oil.
Yeah. I'm getting thirsty. I will take some ladyboy. What? Lady boba? Ladyboy? It's a bubble tea.
You want to heat the oil right before it reaches smoking point, and when you can't distinguish it from water, it means it's hot enough.
I think my oil is hot enough.
I'm gonna pour all this hot oil onto the plate we prepared earlier, and I'll give you a little bit of a ASMR. Mix it all up and our chili oil is ready.
Okay, let's do this ASMR action here. Wow, the smell is so good.
After draining the noodles, we'll dump it all in. And here's more ASMR.
Okay, let's dump it all in. Very professionally.
After it's mixed thoroughly, we'll move it aside and then start from.
Later.
We'll use the residual oil in the pan to fry up an egg.
Did you know that in Finland, 1 egg costs about 20 cents? Too soon?
My apartment's been smelling so good as soon as that hot oil hit the garlic earlier. The oil really activated all the flavors and aromas in those ingredients and also made it kind of creamy too.
Yeah, the smell is absolutely amazing here as well. Let's put the egg on top and then top it up with some green onion and look at this. Look at this meal.
There's really not much need for a taste test because you already know it's gonna be fire. Now we break open the egg, mix it up real nice.
Now let's break open the egg and wow, this is gonna be so juicy.
Let the yolk evenly sort of distribute into the noodles.
You know this is gonna be fire, but soon we get to taste.
I'm very excited to taste and ready to entertain. It's creamy, silky, rich, with a hint of spicy kick from the seasoning packet, and all that MSG in the packet combined with the garlic and chili pepper aroma are activated by the hot oil.
I couldn't agree more. This is flavor bomb. This is umami bomb. This is noodle bomb. You should try this recipe. For sure.
This incredible recipe is extremely simple and can be put together in less than 5 minutes. Once in a while you come across something that changes your life forever, and this recipe is one of them. 9.3 out of 10, highly recommend.
Yeah, this is absolutely 6 out of 5. Try this.
This recipe uses the same technique from the sauce of carbonara. We'll start by putting everything in a bowl, including 1 egg, seasoning packets, 2 cloves of grated garlic, a couple pinches of bacon bits, chopped up scallion, and a little bit of chili paste.
Okay, let's make this carbonara, and I will only use the egg yolk because carbonara uses the egg yolk, but I just realized that I fucked it up. So let's try again. The egg yolk goes in, then I also realized that I don't even have bacon in my hands now, so let's prepare the noodle ingredients first. So the dry ingredients, the spices, then some grated garlic.
When everything's ready, just beat it together. I sincerely apologize I don't have the Ligma fork at this moment.
Alright, I don't really have time to worry about any Ligma forks. I don't even know what the fuck is a Ligma fork. But anyway, now it's time for me to make the bacon on a pan. And as you can see, I'm multitasking here, so please Canoe hold fire for a minute. I'm chopping up the green onion, getting the bacon ready. Oh, there is the good stuff here. The bacon turned absolutely gorgeous. Then just chop it up the bacon on a plate with all the other ingredients, some green onions, some chili oil. Oh, that's fire, by the way. That chili oil right there. It's very hot but flavorful. You will definitely feel this at least 2 times, maybe even more. Then just mix it all up, and this is how it's supposed to look like.
Now we're gonna cook some noodles. Make sure you don't drain out the water because we're gonna use it.
Oh, I got lucky because I actually have the water from the previous noodles still here with me, and now I'm just snacking on some dry uncooked ramen. It's pretty good.
I'm gonna turn this brown slimy syrup into a beautiful red creamy sauce. I'm too lazy to take out another bowl for the noodle water, so I'm just gonna pour it directly above.
Okay, to make it carbonara-ish, let's put some noodle water in, mix it up good.
Once it resembles a homogeneous sauce, we'll take out the noodles and pour it in.
Why is my sauce so red? It looks good, but it's totally different than Future Canoe's sauce.
I guess the concept is really similar to the last recipe, except this one is with egg and hot water instead of oil. The fact that there's a raw egg in it makes me a little bit uncomfortable, so I'm gonna use the Ligma fork to protect me from all evil. A lot of you have been DMing me and asking me how am I still alive after eating all that radioactive chicken. Well, this is the secret.
Ah, okay, so that's the story of the Ligma fork. Well, I got these Sigma chopsticks. Alright, let's finish up this stuff, and soon we will test. I gotta say, it looks very good, but taste matters.
Now let's give it a taste and rate it 1 through 10. I don't think it tastes that good, but I suspect that it's because the last recipe tasted too good, and this one is too similar to it. It has all the same flavors, it's just slightly on the watery side, and also has a little bit of that raw egg smell. And due to those reasons, I'm gonna give it a 6.9.
What is 6.9? A good thing ruined by a period.
Haha, but anyway, I gotta say, this was the second best thing happened to me today. It was very wise of me not to put the whole egg in, just the yolk. And this Thai chili sauce, it's an absolute killer. It's fire. It's money.
So our third recipe is gonna be very unfriendly to our lactose intolerant audience.
Okay, we gotta protect ourselves by drinking one more bubble tea. This is gonna be the last one today.
The first step is to turn a sausage into these octopus looking things. Right now I'm just removing the casing. As I told you before, the professional culinary term for this step is called circumcision, and I just realized this sausage matched perfectly with my shirt. Talk about meant to be. We basically want to cut the bottom half of the sausage twice perpendicularly to create those 4 legs.
Okay, it doesn't look too challenging. Here is my wieners. Let's make the cuts and move on.
So hopefully when we boil them, it will take into shape and spread like this.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Moving on to the interesting part. This is gonna be a milk-based Shin Ramen broth.
I have a bad feeling about this Shin Ramen broth.
About 2 cups or so. You don't have to use expired milk if you don't like it.
I noticed I only have expired double cream.
Now we just follow the procedures of making a normal bowl of shin ramen. Oh, excuse me, shin noodle soup.
Or excuse me, shin ramen noodle. Alright, let's go ahead and put the noodles and the spices and everything in that cream. This is not gonna end well, I can tell you already by now.
The funny thing about milk is that when you look at it, it will never boil, but as soon as you take your eyes off of it,
that's why I never take my eyes off of it while I'm cooking. Let me just grab a drink real quick. Oh shit.
now we turn down the heat a little bit and drop in our sausages. To make it look like an octopus, I'm gonna stuff all my noodles in between their legs. That's a sentence I never thought I'd say.
Okay, I think I will skip that part.
They didn't really take up the shape, but I'll try to arrange them as similarly to the original ones as possible. That's the best I can do.
Let's see what I can do. Okay, I'm done.
And to complete this dairy dish, I'm gonna put a slice of mozzarella on top.
Okay, will this never end? It's just getting worse and worse.
So here we have it, a cheesy milk-based shin ramen with a depressed octopus sausage as garnish.
Okay, here we have it. Period.
This is probably the nightmare of every lactose intolerant person, but look at this cheese pull.
I don't think the cheese pull will make up for the damage already done, but I'm game.
Let's grab our ligma fork, give it a taste, and rate it 1 through 10.
Let's grab our Sigma sticks and have a taste.
Take a look at the mess I just made. This is exactly why you need this apron. The Future Canoe store is officially online. These aprons are oil and waterproof, and the tomato bag over here can give you some swagyu wagyu. At this moment, it's only for the US, working on making it worldwide soon.
Yeah, take a look of the mess I just made, so it's a very good idea. Let's go and order one of these aprons, I really need it. And this video has been posted several years ago, so I'm sure there is shipping in Finland already by now. Okay, United, okay then. Never mind.
Usually when you eat shin ramen, it kind of tastes like noodles in spicy water, and this recipe offers that richness it's been lacking. It's probably better to eat this recipe in the winter. You can see here the broth got really thick and creamy, kind of reminds me of a bone-based broth. Taste-wise, I'm gonna give it 8 out of 10.
This is much better than I expected. I expected this to be an absolute shit. But anyway, this all being said, the double cream was maybe not a good idea. This is way too heavy.
But overall, I'm feeling a little sick right now. I can't tell if it's the expired milk or the pink sausage.
Look at the mess I made. I really would have needed that apron canoe. Anyway, 2 out of 5.
This recipe is the one I'm most curious about. It has over 10 million views on TikTok.
Okay, that looks good. Let's go.
It's like an imitation of tonkatsu ramen. All you need is an egg yolk, the seasoning packet, and I give a second chance to Kewpie Mayo. I feel like the yolk here is a little redundant since mayo is basically just egg yolk sauce.
Yeah, this is one of these recipes again. You eat it once, you regret it later. Been there, done that. But anyway, let's prepare all the ingredients, the spicy sauces and dry ingredients, and then the Kewpie Mayo and noodles.
Ligma fork it all together till it looks like a red thick paste.
I'm going to Sigma stick this into a thick paste.
After cooking the noodles, we'll slowly pour the water into the bowl, constantly stirring with the ligma fork to keep it homogeneous.
Yeah, we have seen this step in so many noodle recipes lately.
When it starts to look like a legitimate broth, we'll pour the whole pot in.
And once it's all broth, make it rain.
The smell that's coming out of the bowl is reminding me a lot of bone broth. Can't believe just a second ago this is just mayonnaise and water.
I gotta say the smell is exceptional again.
Finally, garnish with scallion, and that marks the completion of our mayo instant noodles.
This was absolutely the easiest one today.
Before we give it a taste and rate it 1 through 10, I'm gonna try to minimize the mess by swirling it on a Sigma spoon.
I don't even care anymore. I'm just going in.
Baby.
I am beyond impressed with this recipe. If you don't tell me it's made of mayonnaise, I would have never guessed. But since I have that information in the back of my mind, I do have that mayonnaise aftertaste in my mouth every time I sip the soup.
I totally agree. You could easily leave out the mayonnaise or make it a little bit less than what's on the recipe. But I want something more here. I put the wiener in.
Overall, this is really easy to make and easy to swallow. It deserves a solid 8.2 out of 10. It's definitely gonna make it to my next struggle meal video.
This was easily 5 out of 5. With the wiener in, 7 out of 5. This was really good.
Our final recipe is a cold dish. It's supposed to imitate the Korean cold noodles, or also known as naengmyeon.
I have a very bad feeling about this one.
As you can see here, I'm starting with a seasoning packet and a spoonful of soy sauce.
I've had naengmyeon before and I can't tell it's necessarily my favorite.
A spoonful of rice wine vinegar for the acidity. Actually 2 spoons.
But making this out of instant ramen?
A teaspoon of sugar and the rest of my scallion.
The ingredients here are actually pretty legit, but again, I don't understand why it needs to be cold.
We're diluting all this with a cup of cold water. We're also adding ice cubes to it later.
Yeah, I think this is the point where we are going in the wrong direction.
We'll set this bowl aside for now because I need to go into my bedroom to get the rest of our ingredients. Just give me 1 sec. We're gonna cut the cucumbers into really thin strips. I learned this method from my mom, so if you have a better way of cutting it, let me know in the comments. This is how they look. Once you squeeze them all together, you can't really tell some of them is not cut all the way through.
Alright, let's learn from the best. Oh, that's an awesome trick.
Here we are with this questionable pink sausage again. A lot of you have been asking me in the comments where I get these radioactive protein, but the truth is I'm not actively looking, but rather I'm chosen by them. So it's just like a Ferrari dealership, except it's pink meat.
By the size of it, you can already tell that we are not dealing with the pink meat here. Now, let's do the necessary and slice up our sausage.
Alright, now I'm gonna teach all of you how to make a perfect soft boiled egg.
Alright, I'm listening.
As soon as you drop your egg into a boiling pot of water, you have to set your timer to 6 minutes and 9 seconds.
Okay, is this one of those 69 jokes again?
When the timer's up, we put it in the ice bath.
Alright, the timer is up, so put it in the ice bath. Then some spices and noodles and stuff like that, snacking on the ramen.
Probably want to avoid cooking one single egg because it might get bored and make a popcorn, just like this one over here. I've literally never been able to peel a perfect looking egg in my life. Every time I try to do it, people suspect that I took a bite out of it. Like this one over here. Here's where that little piece of popcorn comes in. You can place it exactly where the gap is and make it look like a wholesome egg. From a distance, of course.
Looks like my egg didn't get bored, and I'm pretty confident I did a pretty good job with this egg. Let's cut it open and
Since it's a cold noodle dish, you want to put them directly into an ice bath after boiling to stop the cooking process, also avoid clumping.
I want to talk a minute about that egg. 6 minutes, 9 seconds. Perfection. Now let's finish this dish by adding ice onto the plate.
Now we have everything ready and it's time to assemble. We'll first lay our foundation of well-chilled noodles.
Let's put more ice in.
You can pour the ice cubes in there, it doesn't matter. We're throwing some extra ice cubes in there just to keep the broth as cold as possible. We're throwing a big handful of cucumbers for the crunchiness and the refreshing herbal notes.
Whatever goes in here at this point can't make it any worse.
And finally, you already know it's not a Future Canoe video without questionable meat on top, even though I prefer my meat on the bottom.
Okay, meat on top.
Oh, I almost forgot the egg. We'll slice it open and just put it on the side.
And now comes the perfect egg. Look at it.
I've never had Korean namyeon before, but I suspect this does not even come close to the authentic one.
I have, and I can tell you that this is not even close to the authentic one. Ask Doobie Doobab.
And since this dish looks so weird, I'm gonna take a thumbnail and I'm gonna ask you guys on Instagram if I had successfully created namyeon.
What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in. I got options. I can pass it like Stockton.
This one is a little more ruthless than usual. To be honest, I myself is a little reluctant to eat this dish, but you know, you never judge a book by its cover, and you never judge Future Canoe's dish by its color grading. So let's mix it up a little bit, taste it, and rate it 1 through 10. Cheers, everybody.
Who am I here to judge? Let's try it out.
I think the song perfectly describes how I feel right now. There's so much going on in the dish, I can't really put my head around it. I overcooked the noodles so it's really soggy, and it mushes in with the cucumber slices. And the broth is freezing cold, so when the egg yolk hits the broth, it coagulates into this really waxy, thick paste that sticks on the roof of your mouth and it wouldn't let go. I feel a little bit violated by that egg yolk, because usually I'm really good at swallowing things. But anyways, I hope you at least find some of these recipes applicable and make it at home.
Yeah, I just made 5 of your recipes at home, and I gotta say that this is the worst out of 5. However, it's not as horrible as it sounds. I actually enjoyed some of it, and the sausage was good, the cucumbers are okay, but the cold sauce, it's just not for me. And to be honest, this cold broth absolutely ruined 10 out of 5 egg. So this, for me, is 1 out of 5. Thank you.